Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not yet.
So the modular terminals to unlock Marco seems to be one of the hardest things to do. I've only got 12 on them actually, so
How many do you need?
25.
Hmm. Yeah, one of our guys who'll be dropping in later. Did you know Vaterman? Isn't it her?
D
Or what was the one that
Yep.
wanted to leave me in Brandy?
Yeah, DD
Yeah, he
Vitamint.
did it before they nerfed it. So he did the 200 tons.
Uh, they they should get at least some other engineer open for that effort,
Mm-hmm. He did Palin too.
or get some materials for in return.
So if anyone has questions about any part of the game, engineers, things that we've done, more than welcome to answer them.
Answer the questions
Yeah,
or
why
put
not?
the questions.
Well, okay, maybe we'll ask questions to people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to scan, am I? Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you
Supposed to.
brought the scanner along with you this time then?
Yeah, well, it's quite a trip.
Mm.
Yeah, the boosters seem to be one of the most popular. I don't know what the new meta is yet, but the boosters, when I looked at it, to get a 270% boost, to go up to I think it's like 56% on a single A booster, it's you can get a lot of shields from that. I'd find that hard
Missile
to beat.
missile heat meta at the minute.
Missile heat meta,
Yeah, everyone's going heat weapons.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried the
Do they work?
retributors?
Yeah, but there's no real point in getting them now when you can get a rapid fire missile that puts them to 150% heat in like one hit. Though it's
That
really
sounds
easily
interesting.
countered. That being said, the heat weapons, which we can talk about, probably we'll be talking about it later on. They don't do as much damage as a normal weapon. You know, they sacrifice damage for heat ability, so they're pretty crap in a 1v1. You know,
So would you say that these are more useful for PvP or PvE?
PvP. Well, PvE, it's hard to tell because the NPCs are really good at the whole heat thing. They kind of cheat when it comes to heat, so. But they still take heat damage, so you might as well use them. Getting weapon upgrades for like your weapons is really hard in my opinion. Everything else is a lot easier than weapons.
What would you guys suggest to fight against shielded people? Uh, to go with the phasing sequence or thermal?
A mix of thermal and something else would you work probably. DPS is important.
Mm-hmm.
Though we haven't really done much testing, but we had a wing head up to one of the community goals and completely mopped the floor with all the wings that were up there. Even though they were using heat weapons. The heat weapon's only useful if one or like three or four of the wing are actually shooting at you, you know?
Mm-hmm. So you think heat weapons are useful against shields?
Yeah, but they make people panic, especially if you catch someone off guard and their shield cell banking, then you can,
Mm-hmm.
heat them up.
Mm-hmm. But do you think this thermal damage makes shield go down faster or not really? They just add up the heat.
It just adds up heat. The damage itself goes down, so technically having a tanky ship is good. As long as you can keep your ship's like heat emission down, you don't really need to worry about their thermal. If you like go for the engineer mods that reduce like the make heat efficiency better.
Mm-hmm.
Low emission power plant, I think it is, or something. It's called. It makes your power plant better at heat management.
See. So you suggest that I better go with a phasing sequence that makes damage
I'd
through the shield.
probably like a mix of both, definitely. Like
Mm-hmm.
have maybe two people in the wing with heat weapons, and then have some other people that have something else.
Yeah.
So there was this question I had that never made any sense to me. There's a damage stat, there's a rate of fire stat, and then there's a damage per second stat. What's up with that?
Damage is base damage for the weapon, I believe. And then damage per second is obviously how much it does every second. The FDev aren't very good when it comes to numbers,
Well,
though. You
I
know
mean,
what I
you'd
mean?
think that the base damage times the rate of fire would be the damage per second, no?
Yeah, well, this is FDev, so I would makes things slightly more
I mean,
complicated.
I thought that maybe there was some multiplier that actually it does work out in the end, and they're just giving you more information than you need. But the fact that there's a separate stat that the engineer can upgrade makes you think that it's not actually just a combination of the two.
Yeah, probably if you run the numbers, it might equal, you know.
Okay, hopefully this one's scoopable.
What would you take
Oh,
rather?
oh God.
Efficient?
Well, there we got a problem because I have one jump left. Let's make sure the next one is scoopable.
Would you rather go
Oh, the
for
next one
efficient
isn't.
weapon or focused?
It for what weapon though?
For both.
So if it was a multi-cannon, I'd go for overcharged, while if it was a pulse laser, I'd go for efficient. Because you get better damage per energy whenever you go for a laser that's efficient, while overcharged you get more DPS on a multi-cannon.
Mm-hmm.
And for you, Stephen, this area of space is a pain in the neck to get through.
Is
There's
it?
a lot of brown dwarfs.
Alright, well then I'll scoop up here. I have to pick a new path anyway.
Well, what kind of roll did you get on the? I missed that. What kind of roll did you get?
I got a 45% roll,
It's actually
which is actually technical
not too
max
bad.
without the secondary effect.
Hmm.
Okay.
The thing that's going to hurt you the most is not like is whenever you start getting close to the core, as the route plotting time just skyrockets.
Yeah. Even now, the route plotting is pretty slow. I feel like it's gotten
It
slower
gets
since the
worse.
patch.
Probably. I did a run to Saga recently, and I did like I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did all of the run, like all of it in total. It only took like 12 hours, less or more. I'm not sure, but whenever I got to like 19, once you hit about 15,000 light years, and after that, it's just going to start getting harder to plot routes because the game just takes it could take up to 10 minutes for me once. And that was coming home.
So one of the things I might be considering doing is actually starting the jumps a little sooner.
Mm.
So I take a little bit of heat damage possibility if I do it a little too soon, but I save. Sometimes I can save a few seconds.
You don't really need to get worry getting out there, don't you? So heat damage isn't really an issue, as long as you don't take too much.
Yeah.
I had the enjoyable experience of coming home and an ASP that kept saying frameshift drive malfunction. I was like, oh. So what does everybody think of engineers so far?
I kinda like it, but sometimes it can be confusing with all those stats for example, if I go to outfitting and check modification weapons, and I got efficient weapon, it kind of seems like I'm doing less base damage, but I got better hit management and stuff,
Mm.
which is odd.
I guess it depends on what your strategy is for what your build's going to be like.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, I got like I see from the without a modification, there is little more minuses compared to the normal weapon. Like, do you think that's because I had some of the previous modifications were so worse uh, and I was getting them better, but I couldn't get them better than default.
Possibly. The main problem I find with engineers is grade 1 and 2, and maybe even 3 are kind of, well, grade 1 and 2 definitely are pretty pointless. It's just kind of annoying, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I
So
mean, you can get a weapon, sorry to interrupt, but you can get a weapon and you can put it through a grade 1, and we all know, yeah, grade 1 isn't really meant to be the best god weapon you're hoping for, but you put it
yeah.
through grade 1 and it can be worse than what you got. One of our guys put an FSD interdictor roll through like 4 or 5 times, and he got an FSD that had less range than before. I feel
Yeah.
like if they should change it so that you can get something that is half decent held together with duct tape that would do someone that's maybe in a Cobra or, kind of at the early stages of the game, so that they can at least try engineers and then get
Mm-hmm.
modifications and feel like they're doing something, because engineers does feel very end game, kind of, you have everything, you've lots of money, and this is the next step, really.
Yeah. So you mean that, for example, I was upgrading pulse lasers through all grades 1, 2, and that kind of fucked up my pulse lasers. And when I put grade 3, it made them a little better, but they still suck more than default.
Did you apply like a really bad upgrade before doing the grade 3 one?
Yeah.
That's probably why then. I usually there's a good website that allows you to put like the recipes and stuff in. So I have it set out that I have 3 grade 1s to do, 3 grade 2s, etc. I don't actually apply any of those until I get what I really want.
Mm-hmm.
I just discard the really, really bad ones and move on.
Yeah, I get it. So probably I'll try to uh, I don't know. Hmm. I'll try to buy new stock weapons and just put directly grade 3 engineering updates and see if damage will be better.
Yeah, definitely will. Yeah. So one other problem I have with engineers, I like the whole. It's fun. It can be fun at least, and it's good. Problem I have is the lack of information almost when it comes to engineers. They don't really tell you where you can get things, and
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
the
on the
randomness of everything.
in the news feed, they will tell you, each engineer will tell you where there are close materials for each of the like
Yeah.
elements. But yeah, I mean, I've relied on Inara like left and right, especially considering there's almost 100 materials, and I keep forgetting which one's for what, and I have to keep going back and looking. What is this used for? Is it valuable at all? Is it worth keeping, or
Oh
should I
yeah,
toss
exactly.
it?
Before I started using this web tool, I had everything written down on 2 pages covered, and from front to back, these little small pages, and it was kind of annoying. Getting some materials can be really, really hard to get. I mean, I was on this planet and I'm trying to get antimony, but I was getting it yesterday, but now since I need like 2 of them, it's just not like spawning. It's kind of horrible. Definitely say like some of these spawn rates need to be like buffed a wee bit so that you can get like more